Wow, don't blink. Our hero chases political dreams with NZT pills and the stock market. His daily earnings soared to $2,000, yet felt excruciatingly slow, with a huge financial gap making bank loans impossible. Andy thought, I can't just wait and risk with empty promises, so he sped up and found a black market financier, despite the guy's mistrust. When the mob boss learned he could multiply his capital several times in days, his lips trembled in agreement to meet in the park for a deal. Andy knew the deal was as risky as a roller coaster. Failed to repay, he might lose his life. With the cash in hand, Andy was on fire in the stock market, but to cram knowledge faster, he cranked up the dose like he was turning himself into a... Soon, his account was a treasure vault with $2 Wall Street trailing him at a snail's pace. Through a friend, he met financial mogul Carl, who marveled at Andy's stock-picking skills. Captivated by Andy's talent, Carl invited him to a major merger project, demanding the plan by 10 a.m. next day, a daunting challenge. After hopping out of Carl's fancy car, Andy thought he deserved a celebration since life was about to turn a new page. But as he took it, he suddenly felt something was off, like someone cast a spell on him, and in the blink of an eye, he found himself lost. That night, he wandered the city like a leaf in the wind, bouncing between the luxury of uptown and the chaos of downtown, even accidentally diving into the raucous festivities of a bar. In a haze, he ended up in a hotel with a blonde bombshell, only to magically find himself in an underground tunnel and bump into a little thug. Tragically, he was surrounded by a gang. Facing sudden threats, Andy hit a brainwave and imitated Bruce Lee from TV. To his surprise, he knocked them all down one by one. But when he regained some sanity, he realized he forgot to pop his pill. His brain overloaded. The next morning, he groggily found he hadn't started Carl's project. He wanted to take pills, but the rebellious spirit suddenly surged. As he handled docs, a fly seemed to buzz in his brain fog. His thoughts were so foggy that he didn't know where to begin. Reluctantly, he went to meet Carl, who quickly noticed something was off with Andy. Carl mentioned the boss of the company they were merging with, a guy who used to be a complete nobody, somehow became an industry giant in only 2 years. But Andy's gaze was caught by the TV, airing the blonde he met last night. The report had shocking news. She was found dead in her hotel room, leaving Andy in total disbelief. A wave of doubt crashed into Andy's mind. He began to question his memory and wonder what on earth happened last night, even fearing whether he was somehow involved in this situation. Carl was clearly getting annoyed with Andy's distracted behavior and his obsession with the TV. So he made an excuse, and Andy hurried out of the restaurant, only to immediately feel nauseous. Back home, he splashed water on his face in a daze, hoping to wake himself up a bit. Suddenly, the answering machine beeped with his ex-wife's message, warning him to avoid his brother-in-law's pills. They're dangerous. Andy quickly tried to call back, but it seemed she didn't want to meet. After some persistence, they finally agreed to meet at noon. Since his ex-wife knew about the NZT stuff, he figured others might too, so he rummaged through his brother-in-law's phone book, calling every number. His goal was to find out if others had similar side effects. After over a dozen calls, he discovered 3 had already died, while others were also in quite serious condition. A string of discoveries hit Andy like a bolt of lightning, making him realize it might all be linked to the NZT pill. Just as he dialed another contact, a voice suddenly popped up next to him. Heart racing, he turned around to find that seemingly ordinary old man had been tailing him all along. Panic-stricken, Andy bolted. The old man was hot in pursuit. He sprinted and jumped into a cab, ditching the terrifying stalker. Arriving at the cafe to meet his ex, whom he hadn't seen in a decade, he practically froze. The woman before him was no longer the sizzling beauty he remembered, but a faded shadow, leaving Andy in disbelief. How had someone in her 30s aged so badly? During their cafe chat, Andy learned she had also taken NZT. This magic pill had helped her excel at work, even surpassing her boss, but over time, she became fearful of its consequences. After stopping, the side effects hit her like a tornado, leading to constant vomiting, lack of focus, and a slow-motion life that had her looking like she had aged a decade. This experience made Andy realize relying on NZT is like falling into an abyss, struggling in vain. After bidding farewell to his ex, Andy thought of the last NZT pill in his pocket, when suddenly the mob boss reappeared, thinking Andy was trying to play the delinquent because he forgot to pay back. Furious, the mob boss swung at him, but to his surprise, Andy was so weak he just crumpled, his pill dropping to the floor, drawing the mobster's eyes to that mysterious little pill, which he curiously swallowed. Andy watched in shock as this happened, but even as he rushed to the bank to pay off his debts, he had no idea the trouble was just beginning. Without his precious pill, he staggered down the street, every step feeling like swimming through quicksand, but he soldiered on to Linda's office. Subscribe prompt. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe.